Hi there, and it's Theo again. It's Thursday, it's noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. on the other side of the continent, and no matter where you are, I'm hoping that you're staying healthy and safe and doing your best to maintain a sense of groundedness in these very difficult, unprecedented times. Today's topic is all about letting go of those habitual patterns and habits and thoughts that hold us back from living to our highest potential, as well as the notion of letting go and beginning again. So let me start with saying no matter where you are in your practice, you're most probably able to remind yourself or remember those experiences where an old habit might interfere with being more present and more available in the moment. So for example, let's say you're in a fixed mindset, you want to be right, it's always been your habit, it's always been your behavior, and it's, let's say, hard to be curious and open-minded. That's the very habit that in a mindfulness practice we're really trying to resolve and allow a more curious, more accepting quality of attention to arise. So in those moments, as long as we're noticing that this is our behavior and it's a habitual one, we do have a choice. We do have a choice to shift the needle back to the center and be a little more curious and open-minded of what's going on. And that's really the beauty of mindfulness. You can always begin again. You know, it's really just about noticing and being accepting of yourself and all of who you are, and even when you falter, and beginning again. So that's really the conversation today. I actually found myself a few days ago reflecting on my journey with COVID. And I began wrapping my mind around the fact that it wasn't until week 4 or 5 that I was really able to slow down and notice that I was really out of sorts. I was in a constant state of overwhelm. My work was really occupying, many, many more hours of the day. And by the time my evening came, I had no life other than to eat something, maybe a conversation or two with my son who's sheltering in place with me. But that was it. And it felt really, really awkward. And so I realized that that's not where I wanted to be. And that actually is an old behavior of mine, which is being stuck in the doing and not in the being. And that's, I guess for any of you who know me, you would go, well, we know that's been your life. You've always been doing. But I just want to let you know that it's been so present in my life that it's often hard in these occasions to go, hold on, Theo, make a different choice, slow down, and be more intelligent or in a wiser relationship with my life. So I realized I needed to shift gears and I needed to move out of overwhelm, but I also needed to be accepting of myself that I could let this go and begin again. And for those of you who don't know me, it's not an easy task, because I actually grew up in a family in which both my parents, and for that matter, my 4 other siblings, were constantly busy day in and day out. For my parents, they were big in community. They were my mom was either volunteering, my dad was working and worked both for his business and for community. They were with friends and family, and their lives revolved around being productive citizens and movers and shakers. In fact, I think if I could be honest with you, the unspoken word in my household were set your goals, achieve them, be productive, be accountable, and do what's right. I remember one of the things that I used to hear from my father especially was it's more important to give than to receive. So that in its own right is, an act of doing. So doing really outweighed the being mode. And of course, having goals and being productive is important, but developing that sort of wisdom to settle the mind and let go of the to-do list is important too. And I think actually no wonder I chose a mindfulness practice to be a way of life. Like a bird takes to air, it was just the exact practice that I needed to be in life in a relationship that brought out my full potential moment to moment to moment. And the piece that I love the most is being in relationship to life with a huge sense of heart, with a huge sense of kindness and compassion, of course, to myself as well as to others. So again, that leads me to my point that my habitual behaviors and thoughts are strongly within my DNA, and yet at the same time, my practice allows me the opportunity to move off that sort of rhythm and trend and be more responsible to my present moment experience. And I guess one of the trickiest aspects of mindfulness practice is acknowledging that my old patterns do get me stuck. And unless I notice them and make different choices, they override. And that's where I really have to be kind to myself and know, yep, this is happening to me, and I'm going to bring myself back to where I want to be, which is more in the moment and less dependent on habitual behavior and less reactive and more present. So, and that's what mindfulness is really all about. It's about befriending one's essential nature, befriending it all, befriending your thoughts, your emotions and sensations, the challenging ones, the easy ones, the joyful moments, the tears, accepting it all. And it's really not about improving yourself. It's just all about making the most of who you are, accepting where you falter or where we falter, and being okay with it. And it's not about striving, and it's not about productivity and arriving at goals. And it's just really, I think mindfulness is all about being awake to it all. And so I've been lucky enough to have some really wonderful teachers, one of them being Jon Kabat-Zinn, who I'm sure all of you know, but if you don't know, you should be looking him up right away. But he says mindfulness should be on the to-be list. And I couldn't agree more. It's a way of being. It's a value, like John says, in both good times and uncertain times. And I think that that's my point. Yeah. No matter what you are experiencing, or I should say, no matter where you are in your life and where you are in your mindfulness practice, you can always begin again. And it's almost like just as you control the speed on a treadmill, or you control how fast you want to walk or run on any given day, it's the same thing. You can dial it down. You can slow it down should it be too fast, just as you can slow down life and take a more balanced pace to be just a little more present and more full, more complete. And mindfulness is also about really noticing how the body is feeling. I mean, that's a big part of it, is that pausing and noticing the body sensation. What do you feel? Are you feeling constricted, tight, tired, anxious, at ease? Or as my Tai Chi master, Larry Wong, says, light as a feather. The point is that with awareness, it becomes your choice to either to attend to those body sensations, the feelings you're experiencing, and allowing them to inform your present moment experience. So back to COVID, when the light bulb turned on a few weeks ago, I began to reorient my day to being. And then I started to feel exactly what I'm so comfortable, which Theo, my body, my mind loves to feel, which is in connection to the moment and being way more appreciative and aware of how each moment is defining itself. And when I did that, things started to change. I kept telling all my friends, wow, I'm back. I'm working from a different place, from my heart, as opposed to from being overwhelmed. I was beginning to feel more presence to my family. I was listening deeper to my kids and their worries. I was less sort of anxious around what I was doing, and was able to balance some of my priorities so that they didn't interfere with a sense of ease in the way in which I wanted to work through them. I mean, so much changed, and most of all, I started to notice how my body feeling and the way the emotions of happiness and joy that I was feeling, that I actually was able to shift my direction and move from this sort of reactive place as to how will Mindfulness Without Borders manage in a time like this, and to a more centered and grounded one, which is we will manage. I can take on this challenge. I have a team that surrounds me that is as dedicated as I am, and together we'll navigate the ups and downs of this very challenging time. So that's where I wanted to go with you. I think, most of all, with a mindfulness practice, there's almost, for me, again, of course, this is all from my personal experience, I actually begin to feel a different sense of love for life. I really do. I feel like I'm blushing and I may be embarrassed to be so personal and transparent, but I feel a love for life more and more each day when my practice is in place. So that's it. How about we meditate together? I really feel so much stronger being in connection with you. I actually hope that whatever I say resonates, and even if it doesn't resonate, just take what you need. I'm just a portal of a voice, a person, a human being just like you who cares, and where connection is where I can demonstrate my caring. So here we go. Let's take a few minutes to settle into your seat. Actually feel where your seat is engaged on the chair that you're sitting on, or if you're sitting on the floor, or move to the floor. Feel the earth hold you. And now just let's take a few sips of breath in and out, and just start to rest in your own body. Feel almost like a sense of grounding, that you're being held by your chair, being held by the earth, being held by us being in community together. If you'd like to shut your eyes, of course, close them. Feel a gentle sense of relief with eyes shut. And if not, just find a place on the ground in front of you to focus your attention. Especially if you get distracted, just bring your eyes back to that focal point. And feel a sense of solidarity between yourself and the world that is holding you. Continue to breathe in and out. There's nothing you need to learn. Just do exactly that which you do so naturally, moment by moment, day by day. Feel yourself slowing down with each breath. And notice how you feel. Feelings are important at this point. Notice if you're feeling agitated or you're stuck in a thought of or concern or worried about what's ahead of you today. Try your best to be at ease with these feelings and thoughts and return your focus back to the breath. And just follow your breath in and follow your breath out. Notice the sensations when you breathe in, where you're breathing in, whether it's through your nose or whether you feel the sensations of your belly rising and falling as you breathe in and out. Just begin to notice. Pay attention. In fact, just bring your attention to the whole body, to the whole field of energy within your body. And as you bring your attention to this energy, now direct a sense of kindness, compassion, and loving awareness to your energy, to your body. And with your next few sips of breath, I invite you to open up to the places where you are holding on. So that might look like where you may be holding on to some tension, some stiffness, where you might feel sore, perhaps constricted. Maybe your throat is tight, your shoulders achy. Just breathe into those places and allow the sensations themselves, the tension, the ease, the pain, whatever you're experiencing, to show up and receive them. And if your mind goes to worry about this pain or tension, just go back to the breath. Redirect your focus to the breath. The idea is not to feel anxiety or nervousness around what you're experiencing, but rather just being aware of how your body is feeling. And with every sip of breath, notice those sensations without judging them. And at this point, I want you to thank your body for letting you know. You can even say, "Thank you, body, for showing up for me." Thank you, body, for letting me know I need to attend to myself in this very moment a little differently. You can say, "Thank you, body, for the ease, the joy I feel. Thank you for letting me know." Thank you for holding me. And now shift your attention to your heart. And in the closing few breaths, thank your heart for protecting you, for keeping you safe. Thank your heart for showing you the way, for illuminating your path. And when you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes or redirect your attention to the room. Just sit in a moment of awareness of how you feel right now. And take what you've learned from the next moment to the next moment to the next moment. And so I'd like to end off today's 20-minute chat with really encouraging you to explore for yourselves. What are some of your old habits, like whatever they are, like mine, the old habit of getting stuck in the doing mode? What are they, and how are they holding you back from living your optimal self? And being reminded that you can always begin again. Always. I mean, I cannot begin to tell you how I remind myself, just begin again, begin again. Thank you again. We'll see you next Thursday. I send my love to you all, for those I know, for those I don't know, but at the same time, with my heartfelt wishes to you all.